All right, ladies and gentlemen, traders, welcome back to another Relentless recap. As you guys are tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. So on this fine Tuesday, January 16th, 2024, we're going to be talking about how I was able to make $2,000 day trading stock PHUN. $1,989.61. We're gonna round up, of course, but very solid day here in a supernova move on stock PHUN, which went from, let's see, 13 cents all the way up to 48 cents, doing about 265%. Absolutely, positively incredible. Now, unfortunately, we did have an offering, and this thing, a secondary offering, I should say, and this thing sold off in dramatic fashion. Very disappointing to see, but offerings are a part of the game, and we have to understand the risks of holding overnight. This is part of why I don't. We'll talk more about it as we go throughout the video. So we'll address a couple of questions that we usually get, which is Relentless. How did you find this stock? First and foremost. Secondly, what setups and opportunities were you looking to trade, and how were you looking to manage risk? So before we jump into it, just a quick reminder of our disclaimer. Guys, remember that day trading is hard. Day trading is risky business. So as you're going through the learning curve, as you're building experience, becoming competent, gaining knowledge, ensure that your risk is limited. You can do so by using a small amount of cash as you start, or by practicing in a paper trading simulator, which is what I did. All right. You can practice trading the live market with artificial currency. You can take it slow and grow and learn over time. Right. Remember, the live streams and recaps are never an invitation to copy trade. Copy trading is a recipe for disaster, to blow up an account. Lastly, remember, I do not invest for my subscribers. What that means is that I'll never ask you for money. I will never ask you for personal or sensitive information. And lastly, I will never message you first. If there's an account that's just messaging you randomly and starting a conversation for no reason at all, that's a fake account, guys. Stay safe out there and be careful. Now let's talk about it. So as usual, right now I'm using Momo Pro as my scanner. That's how I was able to find the stocks here today. Momo Pro. I believe PHUN might have sold off on this list, but it was up here earlier. I mean, after this offering, it's not going to be on the list anymore. But yeah, it was up here earlier this morning. I had a watch list, and in fact, we can check the Discord here. This is our chat room, right? We had a watch list of just 3 stocks. So if we come back to the alert section here, we had PHUN, RVSN, ELAB, and CRGE was potential continuation. And CRGE was a huge reason as to why I was watching PHUN. Relentless, well, you guys might say, Relentless, why? Let's take a look at CRGE, which was a stock at this price range that moved on Friday. Just look at this move right here. This one also did something close to 200%. This one went from 11 cents up to 34, and so it seems like there's a new trend. The stock's above $1 sucks right now, and so the stocks below $1 has taken the place as the hot stocks. How long will this last? Friday I made the mistake of not watching at this one. Today we didn't allow that to happen. We did what we needed to do and adjusted. So let's talk about some of those patterns and setups. PHUN. So let's talk about some of those patterns and setups that we usually look for here in the classes, right? So we got all of our charts zoomed in. So first and foremost, coming into the open, we have this bit of a top right here. We have this bit of a top at 1450. We can put a trend line here just to help us depict the level. 1450. And into the open, we get the 1-minute candle to then make the new high. And this did start off slightly red and curled back up. So we had a low of 1350 and we ripped back up. For me, the first trade I'm watching at is the 1-minute candle to make the new high. Now, I'm not trading this stock at this time because I was watching ELAB at first. But you know, if I'm to be watching it, this is the first setup that we see. The 1 minute candle makes the new high. It seems like it dipped down and then curled back up, and that was a good push. From there, we pulled back. We start to get our lows here around 1420s, and then the 1 minute candle makes the new high again, and we go from 1496 to a high of 1536. Not a huge breakout. We have some resistance up here, and we have our second candlestick with a big wick, indicating we're having some trouble. And so said, this thing is going to pull back, and we're going to get a long sideways consolidation. I did try over here. No success. Tried over here, no success. But I'm like, okay, that's all right. We switch back to ELAB, and look at how this one sold off. My goodness. Guys, we do not want to be holding past our stop. Make sure to keep it tight, cut those losses. I mean, this is some brutal stuff, man. One in after hours, this one intraday. I mean, geez, the short sellers are feeling good about themselves. My goodness. Anyhow, this one was similar, you know, watching for the 1 minute candle to make the new high, but the the bids on this stock was dropping out a lot. The bids were dropping out, and that created a problem. I thought the risk was a little too high, but you know, I tried. We traded 40,000 shares. You'll see that we had the 1 minute candle make the new high over 54. We got up to 70, but then it came right back down. And you know, it was a bit tricky. Right here, we got over VWAP. It looked good. We got up to 85, but then right back down. And so we had some winning trades, but then quickly followed by losing trades. Beautiful push right here. I thought this was looking great in this area because this white line VWAP was resistance, right? Resistance, resistance. Finally breaks out, and can that resistance now become support? So here we had support. And then where we expect to see support again, it flushed down. I lost right here, flushed down. And I'm like, man, it's just too choppy. It's just not conforming to what should be the norm for a linear stock going up. So, you know, and we can see it got above and held above it here. But, you know, at this point, I'm like, man, this thing is a little tricky. We got back above. We started to watch it again. And another area where it flushed down, where we wanted to see a big green candle and a nice sweet move going up, big red candle going down. And right here, I was like, that's it. I'm done with this thing. And it was for good reasons. It sold off. So despite having some patterns in there, like the 1 minute candle making the new high, you know, the breakout over support holding, and we did have trades in here where we tried for the break through the level that didn't work, but ultimately we couldn't gain any ground. We were up at best $200 and then flat, you know. And when I went from 200 to flat, I was like, you know what, I wasn't even green anyways, because as you know, where we are right now with our trading, $200, it's a scratch trade, right? So we switched over, and PHUN right on time started to pull away. And this started off with initially a high of day break. So let's get rid of this trend line that we had put right here, and let's put a trend line now at the highs. All right, so we had 1520, and then we also had 1548, but we had wicks more so around 1520, right? 2, 3, 4. That was kind of right at 1520. So we had a small pullback. 1 minute candle makes the new high. Right, this is way down here in this area. The 1 minute candle makes a new high, and it's even a bit of an ABCD. It's a little hard to depict it, but it's in there, right? It's a little bit of an ABCD as well. It's like, hey, can we break over this previous high at this level right here? That's what started off this entire move for me. Now, in hindsight, if I could go back, I would take my biggest position, which was like 60,000 shares today. I would take 60,000 shares at 14.50 at this level here, or 15.20, and I would have sold it all the way up here at like 31. And we can do the math on that to see that's about 15 cents. Let's pull out the calculator, right? If I had traded this perfectly and got in at the bottom and out at the top, right? So 60,000 and really 40,000 during the live stream. I think like 40,000 was my max position during the live stream times 0.15. I would have made $6,000 in just one single trade if I had known I could have been in once and out once, just understanding where the stock is going to go. And but guys, that's make believe. There's no way for me to tell how far this can go because some days we might go from 15 to 15 to 16 and then that's the move, one penny. Other times we'll go all the way to 20, maybe 30. So Relentless, how do you approach this stock if it does go and give a crazy move like this? Well, we call it hyper scalping for a reason, right? And so what I'm doing here, as we break over the high, that's our first initial setup, right? The ABCD over high of day, we have overlapping patterns, which is great. And from there, I'm in and I'm selling, all right? I'm in and then I'm selling. I'm taking the push, so 1520 is down here. I'm in, we go all the way to 1620. That's now a full penny. If I'm in there with 20,000 shares, 10,000 shares, we got a full penny. That's $100 or $200. So I'm like, okay, that's good money. I'm in, I'm back out, I'm taking that $100. And then I notice this thing is still going. So I keep watching, I get back in again. And I ranks and repeat. And so what we have something called the baby pullback, right? Especially in a range like this where we have a high and then there's a small drop. This stock did not go straight up like that. It wasn't just straight up, right? It might seem straight up when you have it zoomed out like this. Okay, that looks like straight up, but it's not straight up. In the moments, there's a small drop, and then it goes up, and then there's a small drop, and then it goes up, and then there's a small drop, and then it goes up. And so in every one of those areas where there's that small drop, for these baby dips, these small, quick baby pullbacks, I'm in, or even also the new high, right? Because remember, whilst the first pattern we took is the high of day pattern, this is now under a smaller, time frame, right? The 1 minute time frame. By the end of the day, it's still a new high from 1784 to 1851 to 1933 to 2044. Quick pullback here. And then when we have a pullback like this, I'm watching. The low of that red candle, it becomes a small, quick consolidation, sideways action. Okay, sideways action. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? So I'm watching right here. Okay, we're sideways. Are we going to go like that? Or are we going to go like this? If we do, so if I'm in low and we go like that, I want to sell immediately to get out tightly, quick. If I'm in a low and it goes through, I want to be selling into the push. If I miss the low, which I did, I'm buying right here for the new high of day again, and I'm selling into the push. And then ranks and repeat, ranks and repeat. Is this going to go up or is this going to go down? Ranks and repeating. And then again right here. Is this going to go up or is this going to go down? And we get the move down. Well, rather, we get the move up. Right, we get the move up. And then it becomes the same thing. Okay, we had the high, small dip, rip, small dip, rip, small dip, rip. And then this ended up coming into a bit of a 3-bar play right here. Again, in low, are we going to go down or are we going to go up? In low to then sell high, or if you missed the low, in high at the new high of day to sell higher into the push. Over and over. So each of these areas, and then I have losing trades, of course, but we're mostly green throughout the push, and each of these areas we're adding $40, $50, $100. On some of the bigger trades, we're in like 40K size, 200, 300, 400, whatever it might be if we made a penny or two. Right, and then we lost money on this way down. We tried to buy the dip down here, and we took some losses. And then we started to base out. So let's zoom out, right? We started to base out. We initially had higher lows, which was great. This was a good sign that we might have seen something here, right? Higher lows, you can kind of say like we're for the bulk of the candlesticks, like we're in here. And it becomes the same thing all over again. Okay, instead of it being a very sideways channel like that, You know, you kind of have ascending support, so it becomes more of like a wedge channel. Okay, can we get tighter and break out, or will it get tighter and break down? So right here, big range to tighter range, and we got a bit of a breakout. So when we retest right here, and I bought this dip right here. When we retest, I want to see if we can hold, because if the stock comes down like this and then goes like that, then I know there's a chance we go up again. But once it started breaking down, I thought this was the day here. But sometimes it's early. You gotta wait and see. Now you okay, this is no longer relevant because we broke below this channel. So what I'll do here, I'll come and just okay, reference the low point was here. And so now it becomes on a more grand scale. We're consolidating. It broke down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It broke out. It broke right back up above that low. This right here is a key area all over again. There's going to be people right here that take a big position and they're going to just look to say, you know what? I'm going to put a risk down here, somewhere like maybe here or maybe right at the low. And they're going to say, you know what? I'm just going to wait patiently. If this doesn't come back down, imagine you buy 50,000 shares right here. And people did this today. I can guarantee it. And some people, they don't move. They just keep watching for an opportunity. Like they just keep watching. They stay right there all day. They keep watching. And before you know it, this thing bounces up 26, comes back down to 25, well 24, and then takes off all the way to 31. If you're in down here, you're probably selling throughout this push. Whether it's some here, some over here, definitely up like into that move is like sweet. But yeah, you know, subtleties like this, like hey, we broke the low and it came right back up. We call that a breakdown and reclaim. And bigger pullback here, but it held up its levels and kept going. Absolutely incredible. Kept going, and then in this area, I lost money right here. I lost money here trying for high of day. I went from 1800 down to 1200, buying all these levels, looking for a push up. I didn't get in on the lows too many times, and I needed to do a better job of that here to be in and giving myself more time and also more distance between my entry and the market price. Because if I'm in on the breakout and it doesn't go, I'm stopping out for a loss. I'm in, it doesn't go, I'm stopping out for a loss. So at one point I'm like, man, I gotta leave it alone until it goes and holds above the level. Right here is when we got that. I'm like, all right, the new high of day is incoming. So same thing again from earlier. I'm in, selling higher. 3 bar play right here, selling higher into that new green candle. It pulls back the 200 EMA, which is a big area, a big level for us. Look at the 200 EMA right here. Held up flawlessly. This is lovely. This is exactly what we want to see. This held up lovely, like, I mean, beautiful. We got into a tight wedge right here. I took huge size here. I took huge size, man. But I ended up, it took about a minute or two to get going, just like how it looks on screen here. It took some time to get going. I thought we were going to see more of like a bigger green candle. So I took 60,000 shares here, but I sold it too soon. But I still made money going up on smaller size, but I had 60K here and I did not hold it long enough for the move all the way up, or else that alone could have paid us nicely. Because this went from 37 to 44. Now you might say, Relentless, do you know it? How would you have known it would have went to 44? I don't. What I would have been doing is taking profits along the way wherever I feel fit. Hey, I'm in because there's risk. You have to always remember the risk. If I'm in 60,000 size, if this thing drops 1 penny, I'm down 600. So when it starts to move up from 37 to then 39, 40 right here, it's like I would have already been up 3 cents, right? Which would have been, 600, 1200, 1800. And it's like, you got to ask yourself, is this enough versus the risk I was going to take, which is about a cent, right? If this had went down, I wasn't planning on losing more than a penny, which would have been 600. But to the upside, once you're up, and here we try to do 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, which is, hey, if I'm looking to risk 600, can I make twice that amount on the trade? So again, when it was taking a little longer to go, I just stopped out break even rather than, potentially giving it a chance to come down. What happened, we started seeing a ton of green. I'm already up a few $100, but then it stalls out, comes down slightly. Right there, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get out of it in case it fails. But then I got out. 20 seconds later, took off. So yeah, like if I am to hold this after I'm up 3-4 cents, I'm selling, and I can always get back in smaller size and ride the wave higher. Which is okay. After I sold and I missed this trade, that's what I did. So we still made something going up. This is the most shares I've ever traded on a stock, I think. Biggest position size of 60K today. But this is what we do, right? We push ourselves, and I really didn't like go crazy today because like I could have been uncomfortable in trades, which wasn't the case. Like I felt very, very calm. Like when if my heart is racing and I'm like, then I know I'm like really on the edge, which maybe is like 100K size or something. But for me to feel some sort of like emotion, other than that, just smooth sailing, locking in a nice gain. The goal for us is just to try to keep the red days small if we have any red days, because we can capitalize when there is momentum. We know what we can do when stocks are moving. When stocks are not moving, it's when we have to be careful. So with that being said, for those of you who are interested in the chat room, if you are interested in the chat room, be sure to check out the chat room. The links are down below. If you want to be a part of the team, you want to be a part of the community, the Discord is the way to go. We have two options, right? There's an unlimited access option, and you can see here we have 6,000 members. There's an unlimited what am I saying? An unlimited access, right? Uh, Subscription, and there's also a limited subscription. If you're someone who wants to be a part of the community, you just want to see the call outs, you just want to see how things are being conducted, you can check out the participant role, right? This is where you can join. You will not have access to text and fully engage, but if you want unlimited access to text, post charts, P&Ls, all that good stuff, the elite member role is for you. All right. So with that being said, it's been Relentless Trader. Take a look at the course link as well. The course link is for those people who might need something a little bit more than just a community. If you just need a community, the Discord is great. But if you want to have the classes laid out in front of you in a very, methodical way, chronological order from zero to advance, check out Merciless Markets, which is the day trading course that I offer here. I am proud of this course. I'm very happy to be doing this. Being that I'm a transparent, real trader, I feel good about the service. I put a lot of time and effort into it, and trading is not hard, and we don't guarantee success, but it's all about having a chance, and we believe that this can give you a good chance in the market, trading this hyper scalping strategy that we trade. So if you want to become a member and gain access to our comprehensive course and all the other perks that is included, such as one-on-one mentorships, ongoing lectures, weekly Q&As, and so forth, live trading archives, feel free to check it out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, bright and early again tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. for another beautiful day. It's been Relentless Trader, your favorite YouTuber, and I am, of course, signing out.